Part to whole, right? What does percent always mean, Ariola or Ariano?
100.
Out of 100. Look, you can put the 100 on the left, or you can put the 100 on the right. It doesn't matter. Right, Ariola? So I'll just leave it on the left. It doesn't matter because it's a fraction that equals another fraction. What's the total calories here?
240.
Thank you. And they want to know what percent, look at what percent is pure fat. And we know that 144 is fat out of the total calories. So what percent is calories? Well, or I mean, what percent is fat? We set it up. The percent is the unknown, notice. So let's go ahead and cross multiply here and here. And let's see what we got. 100 times 144 is going to be 14,400 equals x times 240 is going to be 240x. Rocking and rolling. Let's divide by whatever's next to x, in this case 240. So x then is going to be 14,400 divided by 240. Watch this. 14,400 divided by 240. 60. 60%, because it was out of 100, so 60% is fat. Notice, we have to answer the question. 60% is fat. Cool. So one more warm-up problem. We're not going to go into our official notes yet, but I want to review something about yesterday, about commission. Were you here yesterday? You were, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a different kind of commission problem that your assignment has that I just want to go over. Write this down. Jake gets paid a minimum salary of $2,500 monthly. His employer offers him a commission of 7.5% of his total sales for the month. Last month he sold $30,500 worth of product. What is his commission? I'll give you about a minute to write that down. Go. All right, remember commission is an incentive for workers that are involved with sales of product or sales of services. But what I didn't go over is an example that has a minimum salary. So in other words, Jake, he gets paid $2,500 no matter how he performs. Whether he sells a lot or he sells nothing, he's still going to get this every month. But his employer says, look, I'll pay you that plus whatever commission you make on your total sales. So you want to sell as much as possible. So that's a minimum. He gets this minimum no matter what, plus the 7.5%. Now yesterday's formula was commission equals total sales, I'll abbreviate right now, times the commission rate as a decimal. Remember that. So here we go. Let's first find his commission. His commission is going to be, total sales was $30,500. The commission rate is 7.5%, but remember, 7.5%, move that decimal over twice to make it a pure decimal, so 0.075. And some of you already finished that, was pretty cool. I know Sorio and Ariano, I think you guys finished that yesterday. Let's see what happens.
What?
Yesterday's DMT, C28, you guys finished it?
Yeah.
Right. So I have to grade it today. By the way, your grades will be current by Friday. I'm going to be grading today and tomorrow. 30,500 times 0.075, so 228,750. So Jake is going to make commission of $2,287.50. So that means his gross pay now. When I say gross, that means total. His gross pay is going to be this plus his minimum payment. What they pay him every month. That's his salary. His minimum salary. They pay the $2,500 no matter how good he does. So I'm going to add $2,500 plus the 22,787.50, and I'm gonna get a gross pay of 4,787.50. That's the gross pay, because it's his salary plus the commission. Most jobs are like that, not just pure salary or pure commission. They'll give you a base pay plus whatever you sell. 4,787.50. Cool. All right, I'm gonna play this day in history while I'm doing that. Federal income tax. Now, when I say federal, what's the difference between federal government and the state government? Does anybody know?
No.
What's up?
It's everywhere,
What do you mean? Talk to me. Elaborate.
like, it's just,
So federal versus state. Keep going, Dan. You think you're there?
I don't know, so,
That's fine. Osoria, you know the difference between federal and state? Adiola,
Monday.
what's the difference between federal and state?
I have no idea, sir.
So here's my favorite flag. You guys know how big of a fan I am of this flag.
You know what is mine?
You guys know what the stars mean?
Freedom.
the states.
The states. There's 50 states.
Really?
Each star represents the states. Our country is called the United, that means together, States. Every state runs its own show differently. California has its own specific laws that are different than Texas. They're different than Arizona, Nevada. That's why everyone's leaving California, because they don't like the way California is being run. High taxes, high crime rate. They treat the police like crap.
You should.
Who should?
People.
Treat their police like crap?
Yes.
Well, I beg to differ. That's a different debate. It's ridiculous. But we'll move on. Check this out.
Bro, that's what cops started.
Hold on, real quick. So federal, like Ariano was saying, phone away now, Ariano. Federal means the government that is on top of all the states. State government has its own government and own taxes, but federal taxes has to do with the whole United States as a country. So when you guys work, let's see, Osorio, do you get a check or they pay you cash?
Cash.
Check or cash? You working in that? No, you're not. Okay, when you get a check, what we're gonna start talking about now is
Take money away from your check, no?
we talked about how you get paid. We talked about how you get paid hourly, commission, and salary. Now, we're gonna talk about what they take out of your check and why.
Take medical, take.
We're gonna get into all that.
insurance.
We're gonna get into all that.
I think I don't get paid in check.
Okay, so we're gonna get into all that. Watch. So let's first define the federal income tax. Sometimes it's called FIT, F-I-T. Federal income tax, gonna write that down. Underline it. Money owed to the federal government that is based on a percentage of your income, a percentage of your income. When they take that federal income tax out of your check, everyone pays into it. What is that money used for? Give me an example of one thing they use that tax money for.
I have no idea.
Billions and billions of dollars. What do they do with that money?
They return at the end of the year.
Okay, one more time, go ahead.
Returned it at the end of the year.
Negative. That's not what they do with it. But we do get some money back if something happens, and we're gonna get to that right now. I like what you're thinking. I like that, Osorio. Ariana?
Military.
Thank you. Military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. The reason why we have it so good in this country is because we have an awesome defense. So you have military. You don't have to write this down, but what else they use it for?
Prison.
Prisons? Yep.
Military.
So
The junkie.
prison is still part of the military because the military includes police, foreign and domestic enemies. And if we have to put someone in prison, that's a domestic enemy, foreign or domestic. How about education?
No, military.
Dog pounds.
That's more state and local. So that's city by city or county by county. Right now it's just federal. Education, you have some,
Like the roads, huh?
roads, and we call that infrastructure, okay? We got healthcare, but look at what I did on C31. You're gonna use this for your flip grid later, but look at this website, 7 ways the government uses your tax money, look at this. Look at number 1, health programs, military,
Social Security?
Social Security,
I don't got that. How do you get that, mister?
just a minute, interest on the national debt, veteran benefits, food and agricultural benefits, education programs like me. I get some of that federal government money, okay? So, that's what it's used for, very important. Next word,
72?
4.
Oh no, one's crossed out.
The IRS, you've probably heard of that, the Internal Revenue Service, go and write that down.
No, I have this.
The Bureau of the federal government that is responsible for collecting taxes and administering tax laws. So if you ever get mail from the IRS, don't ignore it, because they can jack you up, man. They can ruin your life.
You should report it. You're not a good teacher.
Hello, mister.
Go for it. Four words and we're done. It's easy. Tax withheld. Go and turn that off, please. Tax withheld is the third word. The amount of money withheld from your paycheck to pay your income tax to the federal government so that you wouldn't have to pay a huge lump sum every year. Write that down, I'll explain. Let's just use me as an example. January, February, March, let me talk please, April, May. I make about, on my check, I make about 9,000 every month.
No, don't guess it, mister. You have to be accurate.
No. So about 9,000. Okay? The federal government, what they do is they withhold tax from that 9,000. They'll keep like maybe 1,000. They'll keep 1,000. And then February they keep 1,000. March it's the same amount. April 1,000. I put 1K for 1,000. The reason why they do that is so at the end of the year when I do my taxes, let's say I owe the government $11,000 in my taxes.
Mister, we know what 1K stands for.
Okay, watch this. $11,000. I don't want to write a check at the end of the year for $11,000 to anybody, let alone the federal government. So what the government does is they withhold money from your check to help you pay them. Does that make sense? They withhold money from you, your paycheck, so that when you do your taxes at the end of the year, they've already collected the money they need from you, but if you owe more, then you pay more. But if they collected too much, that's when you, remember we said they give you it back to you? They give you some back if they withheld too much from you. So all this tax withheld stuff is, when you get a job, everyone's gonna have tax withheld. The government is helping you pay them. Because if they didn't help you, ain't no one gonna cut a check for $11,000 at the end of the year, or $5,000, whatever you owe. And the government understands that, and so they're saying, wait a minute. Every check, your employer is gonna be dealing with us, we're gonna hold some of that cash. So at the end of the year, you don't have to write some big fat check. We already took that cash, and if we took too much, you get a tax return. If we took too little, you're still gonna owe us a little bit. I'm not sure if that made sense. They're helping you pay them by withholding some money every month. Last word, and we're done. Ready, Ayula?
Yeah.
Now this is for people with families.
Oh,
It's withholding allowances. Go and write that down. Last word. Hit it up, Twitter. Withholding allowances. The more people you support in your household increases the number of allowances you can claim on your paycheck. All right. So I just talked to you about withholding allowances, but they take a lot of my check now because I don't have any kids anymore. How's it going? Did it reload? Okay, there's one other student in my class exact like that, I'm still troubleshooting that, so I'm troubleshooting that myself. Yeah, tell her to either just, send you the video, you can watch it without the questions, so at least you got the video. She can do that with YouTube, just send you the
Okay.
link to YouTube, so it's not gonna be that for the.
Ready?
Just I'll do that for you. You got it. By the way, the Rams are good. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, you guys know how many kids I had?
4,
Four. How many boys and girls?
to apologize, decline.
Good try.
3
What?
and 1.
Huh?
3 and 1.
3 what and 1 what?
3 girls, 1 boy.
Good. So here's what happened. When I was raising my kids, they're older now. When I was raising them, look at over here. Watch. Remember they took out 1,000 each month?
Yeah.
When I had kids, I claimed them on my tax forms. So they allowed allowance. The word allowance has the word allow in it, right? Allow. They allowed me to keep more of my money because they knew I had mouths to feed and I had a family to raise. So they took like maybe 2,000 or 500. You see, because I had a family to raise, so they allow me. And at the end of the year, I ain't gonna owe 11,000 because they have what they call child tax credits. When you have
I'm
children,
not a child.
let me finish. When you have children, they give you credits. You don't have to pay as much. So in other words, they try to help families out because families are the basis of this country.
Yeah.
You don't help families out, the future of this country, you gotta raise children. So I didn't pay as much, I paid maybe about 6,000. So allowances are just credits that the government gives you so you can keep more of your money every month. They don't withhold as much. I'm done.